Well, hello, good morning again. Now, in this post, we will discuss the introduction to lesson 4, that is rattrap, and I'll give you kind of a brief summary as well, and then we'll do the lesson quickly in our classes. So, the voice, I hope, would be better. In fact, I've got a heavy, or rather sore throat, so you know, and this is a different recorder that I'm using, so you'll be getting the stereo recording. So let's read about the author, and moreover, let me point out one thing that because I've connected my mobile to a charger because the battery was low, so you might hear some kind of humming. Please don't mind that. Still, you would be able to understand it very well. Okay, then this is about the author. Selma Lagerlöf (1858 to 1940) was born in Sweden, was a Swedish writer whose stories have been translated into many languages. A universal theme runs through all of them. That is the recurrent theme in all her works. Um, uh, all his works is a belief that essential goodness in a human being can be awakened through understanding and love. So he believed that all of us have got essential goodness within us. And even if we commit crime or sins, even then, uh, through understanding and love, that kind of, uh, you know, approach may be changed. Our goodness may be awakened and we may become noble and good. Now, this story is set amidst the mines of um, Sweden, rich in iron ore. Ore is the unrefined metal, and mines, mines, excavations, खाने जिसे कहते हैं. So these mines figure large in the history and the legends of that country. The story is told somewhat in the manner of a fairy tale. This I'll illustrate when I do the story with you. For the time being, you may note down the meanings of some of the difficult words that they have listed here. Keep body and soul together. This simply means manage to survive. That is, when you would keep to manage both body and soul together, you would be alive and you would manage to survive. Or you can say make both ends meet. Hunger gleamed in his eyes. To gleam is to shine. So hunger gleamed in his eyes, hunger shone in his eyes. That is, it seemed as if he was hungry. Plods along the road. To plod is to walk laboriously. Uh, you know, we'll get one or two more such words which refer to walking. So to walk laboriously with difficulty. Unwanted joy. Well, in order to understand this word, we'll have to understand wont. WONT, wont. This word wont means used to, accustomed. Wanted or wont both means uh, accustomed, habitual. Unwanted is the opposite of that, that is, of which we are not habitual, which is something new to us. So, unwanted joy, joy of which um, we are not habitual, which is new. Uh, Here, or let me, for your convenience, for a while, quickly. check and let you know some of the specific details, more details. Um, you see, this one, uh, actually, unwanted. We get the word wanted. Wanted means accustomed, or and then want is also an adjective. Wanted and want both are adjectives, and both mean used, used to, accustomed, habitual, uh, and as a noun, um, it means um, it means custom, habit. Want less, not accustomed. So the author has used the word um, unwanted. Um, Now you see, so unwanted. Just a minute, my book. Uh, yes, uh, right. Now after this, we've got impenetrable prison. Impenetrable means that which cannot be penetrated or broken through. The next expression is nodded a haughty consent. Consent means permission. Haughty means arrogant or proud. And to nod is to make a gesture. Ishara karna. Eased his way. That is, made his way comfortably. Fallen into a line of thought. A line of thought, you know, means a sequence of thought. That is, when we begin thinking not just about one thing, but we begin thinking about one thing and then um, uh, start thinking about the things which are related to it. Like, for example, we think of market, and then we think of shops, and then we begin thinking which shops sells what, and what is the atmosphere there in the market, and so on. So, fallen into a line of thought means begin to um, be, begin thinking about something which is maybe a kind of a sequence of thought. Same ideas connected to one point began occurring in the mind. Things have gone downhill. This is a colloquial expression meaning that things have been bad. Um, Now, I will give you further introduction to the lesson. You see, the theme of this lesson is that there is a trap, the trap of material benefits. And most of the human beings, you know, fall into this material trap. There are material comforts in the world. हर तरह की comforts हैं, luxuries हैं. हर आदमी चाहता है कि वो उन्हें अचीव कर ले. अच्छा, तो अब इन्हें अचीव करना तो कोई बुरी बात नहीं है और वो सबको हक है. मगर उसके लिए हम कभी इमोरल मीन्स का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. अच्छे बुरे का ख्याल नहीं करते. दूसरे का हक भी मार लेते हैं. तो this becomes a problem. So we in fact become a victim of material benefits. ये हमारे लिए temptations हैं, हम इन पे overcome नहीं कर पाते. Then there is a sub theme also. The lesson shows the human tendency to redeem oneself from dishonest ways. Redeem is to, आप कह सकते हैं, गेट रेड ऑफ, छुटकारा पा लेना। तो हमारे अंदर एक इन्नेट, मतलब इनबॉर्न नेचुरल टेंडेंसी होती है कि अगर हम बुराई में पड़ भी जाएं तो उस टेंडेंसी को उभार के हम अ, जो हमारी, हम डिसऑनेस्ट वेज पे हमने फॉलो करना शुरू कर दिया, तो उसको हम छोड़ दें। तो ये भी स्टोरी शो करती है। इसमें हम डिस्कस करेंगे, यू नो, in the questions, the important aspects are the portrayal of characters in fiction, human emotional needs, and human behavior. Um, then, if we get chance, we'll see. I mean, I'll request you to narrate your experience if you have come across a similar experience, similar to the one mentioned in the story. In the story, the narrative style is used. As far as language and words are concerned, there are two things. Uh, there is a choice of synonym to reflect a personal attitudes. आप ये देखेंगे कि एक ही शख्स के लिए जगह जगह कई कई वर्ड्स इस्तेमाल हुए हैं, डिफरेंट वर्ड्स, और हर जगह जहाँ पे एक वर्ड इस्तेमाल होता है वहाँ पे एक नया एटीट्यूड वो वर्ड शो करता है। सो हाउ कैन वी यूज सिनोनिम्स टू रिफ्लेक्ट डिफरेंट एटीट्यूड्स, ये हमें सीखना है इस टेक्स्ट से। फिर अंडर नोटिसिंग फॉर्म्स वील डिस्कस रिफ्लेक्सिव प्रोनाउंस। रिफ्लेक्सिव प्रोनाउंस जो होते हैं जिनमें सेल्फ लगता है, आप यूँ समझ लें, रिफ्लेक्सिव प्रोनाउंस जैसे हिमसेल्फ, हर सेल्फ वगैरह वगैरह। बट they are used in two ways. One, to refer to the person himself, like he closed the door himself. तो दरवाज़ा किसने बंद किया? उसने। दैट इज़ वाई हम यूज़ कर रहे हैं हिमसेल्फ। लेकिन कहीं कहीं ये स्ट्रेस देने के लिए यूज़ होते हैं, जैसे द किंग हिमसेल्फ केम आउट टू ग्रीट हिज गेस्ट, यानी खुद बादशाह अपने गेस्ट को रिसीव करने आया। अब यहाँ पे जो खुद है यानी हिमसेल्फ है, वो एम्फेसिस देने के लिए आ रहा है, यानी वो अपने किसी वजीर को भी भेज सकता था, अपने दरबारियों को भी भेज सकता था, लेकिन नहीं, उसने इतना ऑनर दिया अपने गेस्ट को कि ही हिमसेल्फ केम आउट टू रिसीव देम। तो ये चीज़ हम इसमें सीखेंगे। देन वी लर्न वोकेबलरी स्पेसिफिक टू आयरन वर्क्स। तो ये इसकी कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट्स हैं जो याद रखिएगा कि हमें इसमें क्या क्या सीखने को मिलेगा, ये इस पे फोकस करना है हमें। अच्छा, अब मैं आपको ब्रीफली इस का कॉन्सेप्ट समझा देता हूँ। इनफैक्ट रैट ट्रैप आपको पता होगा क्या होगा, जिसको क्या होता है, जिसको कि हम चूहेदान बोलते हैं। बट रैट ट्रैप is used as a metaphor for the entire world, or especially the material benefits, luxuries which we try to get by using foul ways, immoral ways. Now, in our story, there is a poor rat trap seller, and he is unable to manage to survive by selling rat traps. So he indulges in small thieveries also, you know. And one day, he had no home, he was a vagabond, he was a wanderer, he keeps wandering. So one day he gets an idea. ऐसे ही चलता चला जा रहा था, उसके दिमाग में ख्याल आया अपने रैट ट्रैप्स को देख के। He thought that this world was nothing but a rat trap, and it set baits for people. All its riches, comfort, joys, heat, sun, good things, they were all like baits. जैसे आप बेट लगाते हैं, चारा लगाते हैं, जिससे कि रैट फंस जाता है आगे, तो ये बेट्स हैं. नाउ द पर्सन ऑब्वियसली, whether he is poor or rich, he tries to achieve some. और कभी कभी वो इतना, यानी he becomes so um, involved with his passion to get these things that he uses immoral ways. And the moment he uses immoral ways, then he has to face problems. So, the peddler enjoyed this idea because the world had never been kind to him. And so he, you know, um, liked this idea of the world being a rat trap. ये याद रखिएगा कि ये एक मेटाफर है. Now, the world had not been kind to him. Now, one day, what happened is that he was looking for some shelter for the evening, and he knocked on a door, and he got the company of a crofter. A crofter is a kind of a farmer who owns or rents a small farms. So he was an old man without wife or child. He too was lonely. So he welcomed him, gave him food, and played cards with him, and later on told him that earlier he used to work on a farm, but now since he was old, uh, it was his cow who had supported him. So um, he told him that his cow could give milk for the creamery every day. Creamery is a place where and butter are made into, milk and cream are made into butter and cheese. So he told him that he earned 30 kroners last month. Kroner is the unit of Swedish currency. Now, you see, the peddler did not seem to believe him, so he showed him the money. Actually, the money was kept in a leather pouch hung from a window nail. So he went there and took out the money and showed it to him and then hung the bag there. So this incident shows that there is need to bond with human beings. There is loneliness in the world as well. But next day, when you know um, the peddler gets up and both say goodbye to each other, after some time the peddler comes and steals the money. Initially, he feels very happy, but then in the forest he loses his way and then realizes that um, you know that now it was his turn to get caught in the trap of material benefits. उसने भी ये गलती की थी. But somehow he gets shelter in the iron forge owned by a very prominent iron master. उसको किसी तरह वहां पनाह मिल गई. Later, the iron master came and confused him to be one of his old friends called Nils Olof. ये उसका पर्सनल प्रोफेशनल नेम था. पर्सनल नेम था. उसका प्रोफेशनल नेम था कैप्टन वॉन स्टेल. Now the Iron Master, remember there are two persons, the master blacksmith who is in charge of all the blacksmiths in the factory. But the Iron Master is the owner of the factory. So he invites him home thinking that he is one of his old friends. But the peddler refused. Later on, he sent his daughter, who was able to give him confidence that no harm would be caused to him. The peddler agreed. Later on, his identity was revealed, and the Iron Master was very angry. He wanted the man to turn out immediately, to leave the house. But Pedla interceded, that is, pleaded that they should, you know, not turn out a man whom they themselves have invited for Christmas pleasure. Somehow, the father surrendered and the man was still there. Um, the father and the daughter go for early Christmas service, and from there they return and they had heard that there was a rat trap seller who had robbed a crofter. Edla was very disappointed. She had in fact hosted him very well. Um, you know, she made the atmosphere very Christmas-like, and very Christmassy. She was in fact thinking that um, it was a thief whom she was entertaining. But towards the end of the story, when they come out, when they when they reach home, the valet, the male servant, informs them that the man had gone and he had not taken anything, but he had left a small little gift for Edla Wilmanson. It was so badly done up that the contents came into view. It contained a small rat trap, and in it was a letter. In the letter, there were three wrinkled 10 kroner bills, banknotes, and um, you see, he requested, that is, the peddler pointed out that he did not want to embarrass the girl on the Christmas because she sheltered a thief, and he requested the peddler to return the money to the crofter, who he said had the money hanging for poor wanderers. मतलब उनके लिए एक तरह से लालच था. उसने इस तरह से पैसा रख रखा था. At the end, he signs himself as Captain Von Stale, which was the professional name of um, Ironmaster's friend. He says that because Edla treated him with so much of love and affection, that he was raised to the status of the captain. मतलब कि उसे भी एहसास होने लगा कि जैसे कि वो कोई पेडलर ना हो बल्कि कैप्टन हो, एंड दिस गेव हिम करेज टू accept his guilt, accept his crime, and return the money and adopt the, um, you know, abandon the evil ways and adopt the good ways. So this is the story. तो ये एक ट्रैप है दुनिया का, जिसमें हम दुनिया की लग्जरी हासिल करने के लिए सब कुछ करते हैं, गलत भी करते हैं और फिर मुसीबतों में फंसते हैं. तो this is what the author has tried to show. And I've given you a thorough introduction, uh, some of the difficult words, uh, and the brief summary and some suggestions. Now, when we meet um, for our classes, we'll immediately start the text. I would request both the sections 12F and 12D to read these notes. There is still time, you know, um, 1 or 2 days time. During this time, you listen to these voice notes so that we are able to do our lesson um, easily, and this will help us complete our course quickly. So, right then, um, because I have mentioned it in the end of the voice note, towards the end of the voice note, so I'll record a message of about 2 minutes and request all of you to listen to this before coming for the class. Okay, then, until we meet again, um, thank you very much, and um, do study this material. Thank you.